This clip of the Texas Bucket List is brought to you by Spirit of Texas Bank and Slovacek Sausage. Howdy, and welcome to the Texas Bucket List, the show dedicated to everything there is to see, do, and experience right here in the Lone Star State. Did you know that the state of Texas has more presidential libraries than any other state in the union? That's right. Out of the 13 libraries there are, we have got 3 of them. And the latest and greatest is up in Big D. It's the George W. Bush Library. No matter what your political affiliation may be, a stop at the George W. Bush Library, the latest and greatest presidential library in the country, is a unique and interesting place to relive and learn more about some not-so-distant history.
Until the President Barack Obama Presidential Library opens up, we're going to be able to say that we're the most technologically advanced presidential library out there.
John Orell works at the library that President Bush and Laura Bush work out of every week. When you first walk in, you get to see some unbelievable gifts from our friends and neighbors around the globe in the Freedom Hall.
What we've put out here is we've put a lot of the foreign head of state gifts. Whenever the President or the First Lady are traveling, or they have visitors, dignitaries that come and visit the White House, there's always a gift exchange. Now, there is a lot of what we like to call bling that's in here. It's not considered a gift to the President or to the First Lady. It's considered a gift to the American people. So a lot of our 43,000 artifacts that we've collected throughout the 8 years of the presidency, those are a lot of foreign head of state gifts.
So if they're a gift to America, can the ladies line up to wear the necklace?
You know, a lot of folks actually ask that.
I'm sure they do.
No.
After that, it's on to the museum that doesn't spend a lot of time on our former governor's road to the White House.
President Bush really wanted this to be a place where folks can not only come and learn about his presidency, but also learn about the presidency in general. So when the visitors start their experience right off in the museum, there's a little bit of focus about faith and family, a little bit about his time as the governor of Texas, but we get right into the 2000 election.
An election that wasn't final for days is a topic of discussion in the museum.
One of the things I always love about this area, folks ask, do you have any hanging chads? We do. We have some hanging chads. We even have a voting booth from Palm Beach County, Florida.
Wow.
The next exhibit hits you as hard as the day it happened. As you turn the corner of the museum, memories, emotions, and the feelings we all had on 9/11 come back over you. You remember where you were, who you called, and how the whole world changed. Then you realize how long it's been and why this exhibit is here.
So why is this so important for us to have a 9/11 exhibit? We are now entering a time where there is a generation that has no firsthand memory of that day at all. Zero. They're either not old enough or they weren't even alive to have any memory. So it's our responsibility to tell the accounts of that day, but at the same time, memorialize it.
From here, the tone of the museum changes and reflects on the difficult decisions that were made during the following years in the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan.
So let's say they want to learn a little bit more about Iraq. They press Iraq and it's broken down into subcategories: military actions, setting up a government, responding to insurgency, and the outcome. So within each one of those subsections, you're going to find more subsections right here.
Since the museum partners with the National Archives, you'll find artifacts here you won't find anywhere else.
Saddam Hussein's gun, which was presented to President Bush by Special Forces, that went into storage. We worked through the archives office, we put it on display. We have a vial of the voting ink from the first Iraqi election. We have the bullhorn that President Bush used down at Ground Zero. The artifacts, we have 43,000 artifacts at our disposal for the lifetime of this museum.
From the darkest days we've had as a nation to the bright windows of the Oval Office, the museum lightens the mood by transporting visitors to Washington, D.C. with this replica of the most famous workspace in the world. The Dallas skyline gives it away, though. While this may not be the real thing, we did get an inside look at a room President Bush spent a lot of time in.
This is the actual White House Situation Room. This is the actual room. In 2007, President Bush remodeled the Situation Room. They made some technological advancements. Now, when I say the actual room, this is the actual room. It's the actual wood paneling, the table, the chairs, the microphones for the video teleconferencing. Think of the history that happened in this room. Think of the conversations that happened at this table just in the Bush presidency alone. Everything all the way up to 2007. There's an air of history that's in this room.
But there is one topic that the George W. Bush Library doesn't cover.
We don't talk politics here. Don't care if you're Republican, don't care if you're Democrat, don't care if you're Libertarian. We're not here to change your mind. There's a lot of people that come here that love President Bush. There's a lot of people that come here that didn't like President Bush or his presidency. We have one goal. We want every person that comes through these doors to feel like they learned something. If you leave here and you feel like you were reminded of something or you learned something that you had no knowledge of at all, then we succeeded in our mission, because our mission is education. That's our goal.